feeling when you get here and you see like 10 fish on?
Right at the get-go. Hey, Tony Amato from Salmon Trout Steelheader, and today I'm fishing with Junior, Senior, Buzz, and my friend Yas, and we're here at Drano Lake. It's I don't know, almost 6 o'clock here in the morning. Everybody's kind of getting ready to go. We got a few boats out there fishing.
That's right.
How you doing, Yas?
Not bad. How you doing?
Good. Yas did the video with us for the 360 spinners. If you guys remember that, you can still watch it. It's still on our YouTube page. So we're gonna get fishing here in a few minutes. So Bill, what do we got here today? We're fishing Drano.
So we're fishing Drano. Okay, this is our prawn spinner setup that Buzz has created. Look, he even uses a wedding ring in here.
Oh, wow.
Remember when we started tying these inline with our, this is an inline spinner, and we started using the line as your shaft instead of an actual shaft of a regular spinner. And he puts a little flipper on here because it just makes that bottom hook wave kind of back and forth, and then we just put your little kit trim right on the top hook. It comes out and it just sits there right like that.
Nice.
Okay, now he just got a bite and his head was bit off.
Well, then Buzz was saying if the head's not on it, then we lose them, right?
That's right. Change it. If you don't have the head, change it.
And I know why we're really going to catch fish, because see that flasher right there, it might be hard to see, but it's got Buzz's name on it, so the fish can't resist that. Gosh, what was it, last fall you went on a little hunting trip and you got a little boo-boo on your ankle, right?
Ooh, yeah. I hunted deer in Oregon, and my son and my brother's boy and I had success down in Oregon for mule deer. And then I came over to Washington and hunted where we live over here around Klickitat and that whole area, and didn't get anything during the regular season. And so I decided, okay, there's a 4-day late buck season north of Carson. So I went up there and, went in a few miles, 2-3 miles, scouted the day before and found some nice rubs where the bucks had been rubbing their antlers, getting ready for the big fight out for the females. And so I thought, well, I'm going to come in here the next day and maybe get one, And so I was doing a little side hill gouging up on this ridge, forested area, a lot of litter on the ground. And I'm not sure what I stepped on, but I heard my ankle pop and I went down and I broke my ankle. I broke 2 of the 3 bones of my ankle. And that was about 1 o'clock, and I got to my rig at 10. The good news is it was raining, and but yeah, I hobbled out of there. I carry a tripod shooting stick that I can extend so I can stand and shoot with it, and I use that as kind of a crutch. But it took me a long time to get out of there. So I've been struggling with a broken ankle I struggled with it for a long time. I went to the doctor, but it was just for Thanksgiving, and so I couldn't get in to see the orthopedic surgeon. Went to my doctor, he x-rayed it, he goes, yeah, your ankle's broke, you gotta go see an orthopedic surgeon. Went and saw the surgeon, but I couldn't get in for about, I think 12, 13 days or so. And he x-rayed it and came back and he said, I have good news and bad news. The good news is you don't have to have a cast because the bones are in place and it's already started to heal. The bad news is you can't put any weight on it for 8 weeks. Of course, it had already been 13 days. And then when I went back and saw him the second time, he x-rayed it again and said 8 more weeks. Oh. So I was, it was quite a while with no weight on my foot.
Wow,
And
that's crazy.
even now, that happened November 18th, I think it was, and even now, we're coming up on June, and I'm still in physical therapy trying to get my ankle to work the right way. But the bucks will be bigger next year.
Well, I gotta say, hey, thanks for having us out here, right, guys? Just had a takedown, and it came off. Bill Monroe Sr. here was on his rod, and we got Junior over here. Actually, I was gonna ask you what have you been up to? You've been fishing down below Bonneville and the channel.
I have been fishing the channel for a little while that Columbia period was closed. And now they've reopened the Columbia, so I've been back up towards the Bonneville area, out of Chinook Landing, anchored up with plugs and some coon spinners just like this with coon shrimp. And it looks like that's going to stay open for quite a while. So we're going to keep that going.
So we're here with your dad,
Yeah.
Bill Sr. I was gonna ask you guys, like, who names the kids in your family? Because it must have been kind of hard to figure out, where Junior and Senior was, right?
Yeah, it was pretty difficult.
He's actually the fourth.
I'm the fourth.
Fifth.
I would be the fifth, yeah.
Yeah.
So in my family, we went Frank Sam. So my brother Nick was supposed to be Sam, but he turned into a Nick. But yeah.
Well,
I like that name.
We're a long line of BMs.
All right, looks like we got a fish on right here, guys.
Fish on.
You want the bigger net?
No, this one will work.
Alright, let's see what we got here. It's gonna be the 30-pounder, Buzz.
I'm gonna get that.
So you got that on the spinner prawn, right, Buzz? With what size lead are you using?
We're using 6s and 8s, I think. Oh no, 8s and 10s.
8s and 10s.
For weight? Yeah.
Looks like it's a fighter. Is it taking some line out there?
He's thinking about it for
Maybe that's one of the. Maybe it's one of those 10-pound bass you were talking about.
Could be.
Look here and smile again, Buzz. Okay.
Here, give me a smile.
Try to look happy,
Where's
Buzz.
Looks like it's getting close. About time to throw it in the net. Nice.
Got one.
Good job, guys.
Got a fin? I got no fin.
Nice. Good job, you guys. So let's go get another one, huh?
Got it.
Back in the old, 4 years ago, back towards the hatchery, there used to be lines of anchor boats over there, and they used to fish eggs, and they used to just anchor up and then just drift eggs all around the back of the boat, and they used to just absolutely crush fish left and right.
Is there enough current there for that?
There's really no current.
There's no current. That's probably why it's really good.
They've done that some this year too, but with the colder water, later spring, it's been a little different this year. But I wouldn't surprise what those fish do. They go up the hatchery has its quota, so they've shut the gate, and those fish are up there. A lot of them are probably above the fishing deadline right now. But in the evening, they'll back down into the lake here, into that arm. And I mean, they can get thick in there. And the guys will fish eggs or maybe just a coon shrimp underneath the bobber.
Yep.
Or some of them they'll just put their rods in rod holders and let them down in the boats to the bobber.
Let it sit. Yeah.
And they'll sit there and once in a while rock their boat a little bit to get the bait to move a little. And sometimes they crush them. I mean,
Yeah,
they really
it
get
is.
them. I've seen guys already doing it at the, in the mouth of the wind down here too. So, yeah, that's a viable option.
You know, I think that changed though, because Pro Trolls started becoming ultra effective over the last 5 years,
yeah,
and it's changed the dynamic of this entire thing. And now the toilet bowls become really volatile sometimes because of how effective the gear is now.
yeah. And this year it's a little different because it's been cooler, the weather. So up until just a week ago, you know, there'd be a few fish caught in the morning here in the lake, but after that, pretty much everything was up there right at the entrance, right where the lake empties into the Columbia. And but that changed about a week ago, and there's been more fish caught in the lake, and we've tried that, of course. And what happens is they fluctuate the water on the Columbia because they're power peaking a lot of times. And so when they back up the water momentarily, you know, it may only come up 6 inches or a foot, a big flood of fish will come into the lake. And right down there at the entrance is where the guys, they refer to it as a toilet bowl because you're kind of trolling around in circles. And that's where the bite a lot of times happens, and especially when that water is fluctuating like that.
This is great. I can laugh about it now. The lower Columbian season, before April 6th, it was open down there, you know, the first period of spring Chinook. I have a group of Russian-speaking folks for the day. They don't understand English that well, which is fine, not a big deal. We're hooking a fish. They hook it in the bow of the boat. And everybody back here is reeling up like crazy, getting out of the way, da-da-da. This guy, I'm telling him coaching him what to do. And, you know, you got to reel it up here, stay tight on it. He's like, okay. And then the fish starts to run at the boat. And I said, okay, he's running at the boat. Drop your rod. Don't let it touch the boat. Drop your rod. And then it kept coming at the boat. I said, drop the rod. And he looks at me, looks around the boat, and he dropped the rod in the water.
So we're going to be on Outdoor GPS live here any minute, but it keeps cutting in and out.
Bill, can you hear me?
Holy moly, I can hear you. Good morning.
It's just not right, man.
Is this?
It's not right, but I'm going to take what I can get. And right now, it's a phone call. Bill, you can tell us where you are if you want. Just give us an idea of where you are, what you're seeing, and how things are going this morning with you and Mr. Buzz Ramsey and your father.
Mr.
Bill Monroe
Buzz.
Sr. out there chasing salmon.
We got Buzz, we got Dad, we got Tony Amato from STS, we've got Yas, who's kind of camera shy, so this is working for him. But yeah, we have no problem telling you, we're up here and above Bonneville, Wind River and Drano areas, and well, it's fishing.
Well, that means not kitchen.
Well, Buzz got the first bite of the first netted fish of the morning, so that things are looking up.
So the reason we're fishing today is each spring NSIA, Northwest Sport Fishing Industry Association, does a derby, usually for on the Willamette, or if the Columbia's open, you can fish the Columbia. But sadly this year, the ladies at the NSIA got COVID just this last week, and they had to cancel the derby. But we decided to fish anyway, and I'm here with Yas right here, my buddy. Maybe you saw the 360 video we did making spinners.
Oh yeah.
And then I got Bill Jr. here. He's a board member of NSIA. And then we got Bill Sr. here. I'm sure all of you know him from writing in the Oregonian. Oregon
A supporter
Live.
of NSIA.
Yes. And then this guy, he looks familiar.
Yeah, so we planned to fish in the tournament, like you mentioned, and
was our team.
support our industry association, and it was canceled, but we decided to go fishing anyway. And so And originally we were going to go with Bill, but I said, hey, why don't you, I've been catching fish up here above Bonneville, and so I said, why don't you guys come with me and let me take you fishing one time? So here we are, and they even let me catch one, the first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
So instead of being at the NSIA and hoping for a banquet, we're up here in a place they call a toilet bowl.
There's one thing about our industry association, NSIA, Northwest Sport Fishing Industry Association. And sure, a lot of manufacturers, reps, fishing guides, and even members of the public join NSIA to support our mission, which is to enhance fisheries for everybody, sport fisheries. But NSIA is a little bit unique because we have a lobbyist, a full-time lobbyist in Oregon and Washington. And we're pretty active at the federal level also to advocate for hatchery funding, for Mitchell Act hatchery funding on the Columbia River and keep these hatcheries funded and going. So NSIA does a lot for the average fisherman and for the industry.
Back in the saddle again. Out where a fish is a friend.
Yeah. Is that a bear up there?
It is. Oh my God! I can't believe it.
Yeah.
This is where I needed the zoom lens because I don't think
That's a black cow.
I don't think that
That's an Angus bear.
Man, oh man. I can't, I've only seen like 2 or 3 bears in my entire life in the wild.
You don't just.
I'm not a hunter. The other one I saw was in Wallowa, where the horse trails are at the back.
Oh yeah.
Man, oh man, I hope this story can get something.
They're out there. He's rolling rocks over. He's looking for grub. He's grubbing.
Probably a boar too.
Yeah.
Can you take this up the side of the hill? I'm just
You
kidding.
gotta get going pretty fast to get up there.
Yeah. Darn.
Hey, Buzz, will you show Eddie what you really look like, please? What's that? One day, we're down here at Drano, right? There was a guy wearing a hat like you. And he goes, hey, Buzz is you. The guy came up next to me and we're talking. And it wasn't you. And I'm telling Eddie, it's not Buzz. Oh, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Oh, he swears. It was. That's really Buzz.
I like that story, Jerry. That's a good one.
It's a good
That's
one.
really
You
good.
should have seen it, man. That was funny.
A stunt double.
They
That's good.
sell more than one of these hats.
Sean, guys, here we go.
Get going.
Come on, Bill.
Reel yours in. would ya?
Nice. We got a fish here.
Okay, I got to reel yours. He's big. He's big.
He's not
yeah.
small.
Doesn't want to come in anytime soon.
Well, are you in neutral?
I'm in neutral.
Wow, he's pulling hard.
You want me to back up?
A little bit. There we go.
Nice.
I was just saying, I've not been able to catch a springer for myself, but I have everybody else in my boat this year.
And you better be careful what you say.
That's scary.
Oh man, it is just so awesome. It's like we're fishing. It's like fishing for trout, but they're salmon.
Hey.
This guy right here, is just driving us right into the fish. That thing's actually kind of making a run
They
on us
kind
here.
of, I've had to tighten a couple of
The wind's blowing us towards the west.
He's big. He's big.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I see some flashing.
92.
There it is. That is a whatever. Oh, it's a flasher.
I see a fish.
Oh yeah. There it is. There we go. Excuse me. Oh, not done quite yet.
No.
Drop the rod. Drop
right
the rod.
there. Yeah, drop the rod. Well, it's putting the heat on you now there a little bit.
That's good, Buzz.
He sees the shade. He wants to go for the shade.
Yeah, he's thick-bodied.
Wants to go under the boat. It's hiding.
We'll get him to the surface here in a second.
There. Nice. Nice. In the net. There it is. Got it.
That's a nice one. I like. That was funny. There you go, Buzz.
What we got here? He's got a fin on it. No. Hatchery.
Yeah, it's got a fin.
Oh, that's
Let's kill it anyway.
All right, guys, number 2. That's got some meat on it there. Fish number 2. Yas is getting into some pictures here.
Yas is on it.
Yeah, big smiles. The 3 amigos.
That's it.
How did you get involved with the Oregonian? Because there's probably a lot of readers out there that would like to know, like early on. You know, I can't tell you how many times my dad has walked up to me and thrown a copy of the Oregonian with your piece on it and said, "Did you read this yet?" Like, I can't, or I'm going to read it. But I mean, you go way back, right? To the 70s.
Yeah, I came here in 1981 from Corvallis, where I had worked at the paper there. After I left the Navy, after the war, I went to Oregon State. Wanted to be a fish biologist and balked at organic chemistry, so I switched to journalism, got a job at the Gazette Times in Corvallis. I covered all the beats and got some experience under my belt, and took a lot of photos. And then I had an interest anyway in fishing and hunting. So I started an outdoor column there in the year that, I don't know if you remember, you might be too young, but Don Holm retired, my predecessor. And I had a friend who was working at the Oregonian from Corvallis, but he was in the newsroom. They knew that he liked to fish, but he didn't hunt. And they asked him if he wanted to do it. He said, "No, I don't hunt." He said, "But I know someone who does." And it was just good fortune. I've had good luck. I've been very blessed all my life to have good luck. And I sent a resume up and some a portfolio with some photos and stories. And I didn't hear. I got interviewed 3 times. 2 of the 3 times my vehicle was towed, and I wasn't quite sure I wanted to work in Portland if I was going to lose my vehicle all the time. But anyway, I finally called, and Al McCready, Connie McCready was the mayor at the time, and her husband Al was the managing editor, and I called him, and he said, "Oh yeah, you're our guy." He said, "Come on up." So I just kind of, I want to say I stumbled into it, but it was just good fortune. And I've been here since, and I was, at that time, we were the 24th largest newspaper in the nation, and there were quite a few, but not every paper had a full-time outdoor writer. Like this, of course, was the dream job for me, and I've just been very fortunate, and will just work my way through my career.
Well, I got to say, I mean, I don't think there's a person in the Northwest that doesn't know about you and your column. And like I said, you know, my dad has always been a very avid reader, and still is.
Well,
and I want to thank you. I think all of us want to thank you for everything you've done over all these years.
I appreciate that.
I can't say enough about how many great and fun things there are to do in the gorge. There's wineries, breweries, waterfalls that you can view, hiking trails. I don't know what else. What else is up here, you guys?
Fish.
Well, yeah, definitely fish. Oh, we got the peaches and the cherries in the fall.
In the fall at Hood River.
Yeah.
Don't forget to mention Bonneville and the Dalles Dam that both have, Bonneville especially has viewing viewing chambers and windows. You can see the fish running upriver.
And the little babies.
And there are, there's one museum, a tribal museum, or a museum of a history of the, no, it's not tribal. In the Dalles, there's a museum about the history of commercial traffic on the river.
And then the Cascade Locks. There's a lot of historical stuff there. Bridge of the Gods, which was possibly a land bridge at one time.
Well, Indian legend has it, but you could see kind of the way the topography is. A whole hill came down, probably blocked the river, dammed the river when it hillside slid into the Columbia. And Cascade Rapids was there, and that's why before Bonneville Dam went in 37, they had Cascade Locks there to lock the boat traffic up the Columbia around Cascade Rapids. That's why it was there. And of course, with Bonneville, when they built Bonneville, it flooded, but the cement deal where the locks used to be is still there. So the person can visit that there at Cascade Locks.
So something else I forgot too is not only is there salmon, you got sturgeon, bass, walleye. What else?
This is also as far as I know, the only body of water in the United States, or maybe North America, maybe even the world, with a bounty on a fish, a pike minnow.
Oh yeah, you can earn money catching.
Earn money up to $6 to $8 per fish, and more, by just catching these fish and helping to save salmon, because they're such voracious predators on salmon. And I also want to mention, people, with internet now, Google the geologic history of this area, because it's fascinating. And the entire gorge has got different areas that were carved by the 3 Missoulian floods.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and also, gosh, where do I stop? And also, read Lewis and Clark journals as they came down and then returned back up this way, and the gorge was a big part of their journey. The pilgrims, the pioneers, not very many of them came down here. Some did on rafts and some died, but parts of the gorge still have some of the old Oregon Trail. You've got to get up into the wheat country.
Like the Barlow Path, or is it
Barlow Road is part of it, yeah.
We had a great day here at Drano Lake. I want to thank Buzz for taking us out and getting us into some fish. I think we got 2 in the box, and we had a couple other takedowns. It's a great day, and it's time to head on home. And I think we're about ready for a nap at this point.
Sunburned.
Right?
On the way home.
That's correct.
Yes. So thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.